Welcome back, everybody, to Views from the Drunk. It's me, I'm the Drunk. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you guys for coming back. If this is your first time, please come inside, take your shoes off, relax, pour something up. Today's episode is gonna be a little bit different. We're going to the movies. Well, I'm going to the movies. You're gonna sit right there and watch a time lapse. What are we watching today? We are going to see Guy Ritchie's new film, Wrath of Man, starring Jason Statham. These two have worked together in the past to create one of my top 5 favorite movies, Revolver, and I'm excited to see what they have put together this time. Guy Ritchie's known for his awesome camera work, his dialogue, and his non-linear way of telling a story. Jason Statham kind of goes without saying. He's an awesome action actor. Also has some other levels to him that'll give him the competitive edge when it comes to Hollywood. I seen this trailer about a week ago. It kind of gave me John Wick vibes, which is fine. John Wick's an awesome movie, but I'm hoping that Guy Ritchie gives me a little bit more than that. John Wick's kind of straightforward, just action, which is, again, great. But from Guy Ritchie, I expect another layer or two of some story content, hopefully. So how we're going to do this? We're going to the movies. After the movies, we're going to go to a bar, get a little saucy. Then we're going to head straight home to review the movie. Now, I've gotten a few comments from some of you that think that I'm not that drunk when I'm doing my reviews. Guys, I can't help that I'm a fish when it comes to alcohol, but what I will try to do is after the bar, once I get home, if I've sobered up too much, I'll pour something up and I'll continue drinking. I hope that appeases the audience. But yeah, we're gonna finish getting dressed, we're gonna head out, and sit tight, we'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Wrath of Man. So I don't know what y'all have seen yet because I haven't edited it yet, but hopefully the footage came out good enough for me to piece it together. But you see me go to the theater, you see me hit up the bar. I did not drink enough. I will be honest and say that I did not drink enough. So what we'll be drinking more of, I'm not shouting out your name, I'm not shouting out names yet. We're drinking tequila. I actually had a good day. I don't get out much. I'm a homebody. I'm fine staying in, turning on whatever streaming service, watching, I don't know, Rick and Morty or whatever. I'm cool with that. I don't hate going out. I just don't do it often. So this was a nice day out. Wrath of Man. You hate to do it. I guess it needs to be done. So, Wrath of Man. Here we go. The movie was basic. I'm sorry to say, it was a basic movie. I know that I was expecting a lot more than what I got. Now, was the movie bad? No. The movie was not bad. The problem is, when you put something on a pedestal, which I did, I'll acknowledge that. Somebody like Guy Ritchie, I look at them and it's like, yo, it's Guy Ritchie, bro. Like, who you talking about? It's Guy Ritchie. When you put somebody on a pedestal like that, there is a much, higher bar set, and what you expect is more. What I got was less. feel bad saying that. I feel really bad saying that. What I expect from Guy Ritchie, at the bare minimum, is dialogue. So it opened up with two security guards. They were heisting trucks. So it opened two security guards. They get in the truck and they're having dialogue, which when I first seen it, I was like, okay, here we go. Like, this is that Guy Ritchie did. Guy Ritchie is known for random banter. If you've ever seen Snatch, conversations are about nothing, but they're real conversations. If you walked in on two friends talking, like let's say you came over to play some PlayStation, whatever, and two friends were just in there playing PlayStation, and it was like, I don't know, man, it's kind of green. Like I mean, I went to the doctor. Like, random conversations. That's what I appreciate him for. Real life, random conversations. So the scene opens up with one security guard gets in, and they're chit-chatting, and they're talking about coffee, and it was so forced, it hurt. It really did. I was listening to it, I'm like, all right, trying to warm up to it, and it was not great. The dialogue was far below what I expected it to be. There was a scene where Jason, y'all know I don't do names. What do they call him? Some Body Sweat? There was a guy named Body Sweat, I think his name was. Yeah, I think his name was Body Sweat. Body Sweat, Jason Statham, and the other guy that you see in the trailer. They're standing at a truck on Jason's first drop, chit-chatting. I'm gonna just give away a joke. They were talking about, you know, ladies who worked in a bank, and it was like, oh, did you see such and such and such and such? And they were going back and forth, and the dialogue was just so bland. It literally seemed like it was written down on paper, and they were just reading it off the paper. There was no casualness to it. There was no familiarity. Like, granted, in that situation, Jason didn't know those two guys. That was his first day, but the two guys knew each other, and it was just forced. I'm refraining myself from beating this up too bad, but I feel like in my drinking, I'm beating it up bad. But I also don't feel bad about beating it up bad because it just wasn't good. It just was not good. The dialogue was bad. Was it horrible? No. Let me say that up front. As I'm talking about this movie, the scale is going to be a little different. I'm going to bash this movie, but I'm not saying this movie was terrible. I'm saying that this movie did not live up to the great who directed it. I just want to make that clear. So if I say, you know, I didn't like it, it's not like I didn't like it as in a 0. It's like I didn't like it as in like a 75. If your child comes home with a 75, you're like, good job. But you wish they got an A. So that's what I mean when I'm speaking about this movie right now. Yeah. But the dialogue just didn't pull me in. It didn't make me feel like an employee at this company, like just hearing this chit chat, whether it was stupid chit chat or whatever. It was just not great. It just wasn't. And the vibe of the movie, I didn't know what the movie was going for. I kind of knew what the movie was going for from the trailer, but a lot of times trailers are misleading. I don't trust trailers one bit. So I seen the trailer, but it's like, you know, we'll see. The movie started out very Dark Knight-ish. I kept thinking that as I was watching. He does a lot of, I'm guessing they're probably drone shots or crane shots. So a lot of aerial shots looking down at highways or buildings or whatever. And it just reminded me of the Dark Knight. So it had a Dark Knight feeling. And also the music, the score was very Dark Knight-ish. It was bland, eerie. There was no happiness in that music, let me say that. The shots were very stale. There was no emotion that I was supposed to get from those. There was no color, there was no, who is it? Let me think of something. There are certain movies, 300, okay, I don't know why 300 popped in my head. There are certain movies where they want you to see this color. So 300, red is the color that they want you to see. If you remember watching 300, it was very, I don't say grayed out, but like every other color was matted out, but the red always popped. The red of the capes, it was always red that you seen. Now they didn't put it in front of the camera like, look at red, but red is what they want. The blood came out, it was red. Red was always popping. This movie didn't give me something to focus on. Everything was just flat. So I was like, all right, I guess maybe color's not important here. Maybe that's the thing that they were trying to tell me. That's fine. So the music is blah. The colors are blah. What do you want me to focus on? The story? Let's focus on the story, okay. To give a quick synopsis of the story, Los Angeles has apparently lost his mind. Brinks trucks are getting knocked off left and right. Every other day, somebody's robbing a Brinks truck. I feel like I wanted them to go deeper into what that was all about. They were just on high alert for some reason. They got robbed, 2 guards got killed, a random civilian got killed, and it was just like, yo, where are the if anybody's a Brinks driver, like, let me know. Like, do y'all feel that way? Like, do y'all feel like, hey, yo, man, I ain't got no guns, or our guns are just inadequate and they just hunting us out? Like, because like the movie wanted me to feel that way, and it was like, okay, I guess, like in a different LA maybe, but trucks was getting knocked off at an alarming rate. Jason Statham's character, H, was his fake name, whatever. Jason Statham's character was a robber of sorts himself. He wasn't like a perfect character. He was the CEO of a shady organization who was about to rob this Brinks truck. I'm saying Brinks. Actually, the company has a name. I'm just using Brinks because it's recognizable. Don't sue me, please. So they were about to rob a truck. Actually, the company was about to rob a truck. It was Jason's day off with his son. They were going to a game. The guy who was supposed to be doing the job couldn't make it. Jason got a call and was like, hey, yo, can you fill in real quick? Look, bro, we need you. He comes in, the shit goes awry, and his son gets killed. That's how the movie, that's the catalyst of the movie. The wrath of a man, basically. I'm fine with the setup. I'm fine with that being the reason. But I'm not fine with a lot of other things in the movie. The way that we got there is what I'm not fine with. Parking far is a thing, I guess. I don't know. So they were in LA, and I don't know the parking in LA. I've been to LA twice. I never parked there, so I don't know the parking in LA. But god damn it, the entire premise of the movie is that the son was in the car and got shot, but the car was where it didn't belong. This man parked at least half a mile away from where he was going. Pulled the car over, hey son, stay in the car, I'll be back. Locks the door, and then walks a kilometer. Like, yo, bro, like, why are y'all parking so far? There was another scene where Jason, the Body Sweat, whatever his name is, and the other guy were making a drop in the truck. Shit went awry. They had to go get him. The kidnappers was like, hey, yo, pull the truck up and get out and throw the money, yada, yada, yada. So they drove at least a quarter mile. The truck was, if this is the facility, they were parked right here, and he said, come in. And they did a whoop, a whoop, a whoop. And then pulled up. It's like, yo, like, so you mean to tell me, guy, Richie, this guy walked from the truck, pulled a cart all the way through this little maze, and then came here and got accosted? Like, it just, they drove for mad far, and I was like, yo, why? Who walked that far? Everybody's walking far. A little nitpick. I mean, I won't say it's not major because I definitely noticed it, but it's not major for most people, I'm sure. Anyway, why are you parking cars so far away from their destination is the question that I have. Black guys are magical in this movie. Black guys are the givers of knowledge. They're the holders of information. They are the deliverers of exposition. I'm not quite used to that in Guy Ritchie's movies, but I noticed it in this movie. There was a building of a family unit of the team. So there's a bunch of security guards and they all exist in this space. So you kind of get to meet a bunch of them. It seemed like every time a black guy spoke, it was to deliver information that somebody didn't know. I don't know the guy's name that he got killed. I don't know if he even had a name. Probably did, maybe did. They were talking about Jason Statham when he wasn't there. They was like, yo, what do you think about that guy? You know, how you feel about the guy? Yada, yada. And then a black guy walks up. Oh, he's a black horse or a dark horse. Black horse, dark horse. One of them. Called him a black horse, and it was like, yeah, man, that guy, he doesn't belong here. He's more skilled than what you think he is. Like, you know, like just the giver of information. Granted, we as the audience know this to be true, but, well, at that point in time, we didn't know it to be true. But because we know the movie that we're going to watch, we know it to be true. But for some reason, this black guy is just so wise beyond his years. Like, yeah, look, I got a bad feeling about it. 2 other times where a black guy gave the exposition of, you don't understand the truth of the situation. I was like, why is that happening? I don't know. I wasn't sure. I wasn't quite clear on, it could have been happenstance in the script. Maybe it just so happened that all the exposition got given to the black people. I don't know. It was just kind of strange. And the first black guy that I was talking about had no kind of character development whatsoever. He was just there to be the deep black dude. Again, I'm trying to give Guy Ritchie points, but it's kind of hard in this particular situation because I take it back. No, I'm not. It was just bad. That part was bad. That was actually bad. Bad on the bad scale, not bad on the new scale that I'm creating. It was just bad. is actually good. The tension in the movie was weak for me. It was very manufactured. It wasn't natural, the tension. So I said I was cool with the opening, or the reason why. So the reason why, you kill my son, I'm coming to get you. I get it, cool. Although basic, it didn't give me anything that was like, oh yo, this shit popping, bro. Like, nah, it was very paint by numbers. There was more tension to build up. At the beginning of the movie, Jason Statham's character developed a beef with a random dude for no reason. He stole his job? No, you didn't. Your job was given away. Like, there was a pool hall situation where guy who used to have a job that now Jason Statham has, I guess, walks up to him and is like, hey, let's talk. No, I'm good. And it was just like, they had to stare down. I was like, yo, where is this coming from? Like, if I had a job and then the next day I didn't have that job and it was given to somebody else, I'm not beefing with that somebody else. I'm beefing with the person who gave my job away. So I'm confused at why this tension is happening. Fast forward. Jason Statham does the Jason Statham thing where he, shoots this, shoots that, yada yada yada. I don't know. I don't trust that guy. If he just saved your life though, like, what are you talking about? Like a lot of the scenes was creating tension where it didn't make sense to have it. Like, I got why they were saying what they were saying, but it was like, if I, as the viewer, understand, why don't you understand? Like, we both saw the same thing. Dude saved your life. Now you don't trust him? I feel like if you didn't save my life, that'd be the time for me. Granted, the dude he was talking to was the one who wanted to run and let him die. It's like, this is a lot of manufactured tension in this movie. Oh, whew. I haven't decided whether this is gonna be spoilers or not. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say carefully. No, I can't. Yep, it's spoilers. So the guy who was talking to the guy was the villain talking to somebody, trying to get somebody on their side. Like, none of it came back and tied itself up. You're talking to a character saying, I don't trust him. It would make me think, oh, this is gonna play a role later in the movie where the person that he's talking to said, well, he said he didn't trust him earlier, so now we're later in the movie and I don't trust. Like, I'm thinking that's gonna happen. None of that stuff happened. And the bad guy, or the double crosser, was so predictable. I promise you. And it's not because I've been drinking. Watching the trailer, I watched the trailer and I seen the way the trailer played out and I said, oh, that's the bad guy. That guy right there, he's the bad guy. Granted, the trailer doesn't even show you the bad guys. But when I seen the trailer, I was like, yeah, him, right? No, move to the left. That guy's the bad guy. It could be because of typecasting, which, I mean, that's your fault ultimately. You should, if you know somebody is notoriously the bad, don't hire that guy to be the bad guy, because when you're trying to hide them from being the bad guy, whoop, him right there, that's the bad guy. Nothing about this movie made me, let me not say that. Let me not say that. Can I say that? Not many things about this movie made me happy. To predictability, to conversation between the characters, the action was dope. Let me talk about good things. I'm not doing this in order, by the way, and I'm not going to edit it in order. Let me talk about the good things. Cinematography was dope. Guy Ritchie is always going to be a great cinematographer. Angles, pans, zooms. Ooh, there was a great scene. So torture is happening. I think we're in light spoiler territory. So torture was happening. And there was a scene where one of Jason Statham's henchmen was outside talking to a guy through the car window. Chit chat. He's like, bruh, gets up. The camera follows him all the way from the parking lot to the door. He walks in the door, camera follows him through the door. Now, I wrote down continuous shot. And if you guys don't know, a continuous shot is exactly what it sounds like. You press play on the camera and play it all the way through. You don't break for anything, no recess, no nothing. So it was not a continuous shot, but it was made to look like a continuous shot. Walks from the car in the parking lot to the front door. Through the front door, I seen the break. Guy, I seen the break. I'm sorry, it was a dope shot, but I seen the break. Anyway, it was made to look like a continuous shot, because then through the door, he walks into the building, and then he walks around, through a couple of different passageways. And the scene was dope. It was dopely shot. I respect that. I was cool with that. I was happy about that. I was like, okay. Throughout this entire movie, I had moments of like staleness watching and then getting excited because I was like, okay, this is the guy that I know. Then it fell back on like, it never actually got to the point where it was like, hey, yo, this is impressive. I was not impressed by this movie at all. I was not. And that hurts to say because I mean, you should be, but I was not. This movie was, I think earlier I said I didn't want it to be John Wick. Now, having watched it, I wished it was John Wick. I wished it was just Jason Statham going through kicking ass, because that would have given me a little bit more of, you know, some kind of fire to like talk about the thing. But this was like, it seemed like it was trying to be serious, and in the serious moments it was like, yo, this is boring. This is very boring. And then don't get me started on the fact that this movie, imagine this. Imagine me telling you a story. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Views from the Drunk. It's me. I'm the drunk. Here's a story I want to tell you. Story. I'm telling you the story. Story. Some more story. We get here, and I say, hey, hold on real quick. Let me go back to the beginning of the story. Story. I'm gonna retell you the same. You get halfway through the movie, and then the movie stops. Maybe not halfway. 45 minutes? I don't know. You get a bit of ways through the movie, and then the movie just stops and says, hold on, let's go back to the beginning and tell you this story from a different vantage point. And that's not what I was looking for. Granted, I do know Guy Ritchie to be, and I think I said this earlier, a non-linear storyteller, but that's not the way I wanted that story told. No. You told me the same story, just, what time did this happen? 5:30? Oh, we're gonna see 5:30 just from over there instead of over here? Nah, I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that. That was bad. That movie felt long as hell. Granted, I wasn't even drinking during the movie, and I was just like, yo, when is movie? I legitimately asked, when is this movie gonna be over? That was the question that I asked. That movie was very long unnecessarily. You gave us an aspect of a story that we didn't need. Granted, not to say that we didn't need it. We didn't need it in that way. More spoilers. Yup. Anybody who's offended, you should have already closed this video. So, we get the story from Jason Statham's character up front. That's what we're going as. And then the movie pauses, and then it flips to the bad guys' vantage point. And then the movie starts over and gives it from their point of view. So you watch the same beginning twice, essentially. And that, although creative, although different, although whatever, I didn't need and or want. And it didn't add anything. You could have had the same scenario overlaying itself on both scenarios. We see a bit of Jason, we see a bit of the bad guys, we see a bit of Jason, we see a bit of the bad guys. But if you want it to be a reveal, where it's like Jason's going through the thing and all of a sudden, dun dun dun, here's the bad guys, you could have did it differently, because there was no major reveal when we saw the bad guys, because I didn't know who it's not like we seen them already and didn't realize that that was them. You just introduced the bad guys. And it was like, all right, I'll accept it. I mean, it's fine. The bad guy, generic bad guy, think Lion King. It was like, yo, all this is, I didn't want this movie to be this way. I did not want this movie to be this way. I'm deeply upset about this movie being this way. And it was this way. And it's like, yo, you being as great as you are could have done 10 times better than this. And I'm going off track right now because I'm actually offended and upset about how this movie played out. You know, this movie shouldn't have been as mediocre as it was. Let the painter paint. That was a good line, which is not deep, it's not prophetic, but it was good for what the movie was. There was a scene where the guy was talking to another guy, they knew about Jason, and basically one guy said, just let the painter paint, which was like, don't interrupt, don't interfere, don't. And I think that as a thesis statement of the entire movie, that was dope if the movie was good. But even if it's not good, that statement was dope for the movie. Let the painter paint. I can't go too deep into what that statement means exactly without ruining the movie. And I want you guys, do I want you guys to watch? I don't know yet. I'll say it at the end. But you know who Jason Statham is. You know his character. You know what he does. Just assume that he's a painter and the person is saying, let the painter paint. Basically. That's how that played out. It was a dope line. It was nicely placed. If the rest of the movie was dope, I'd have been happy about it. It was John Wick, but then it paused from John Wick to be like, hey, yo, by the way, we're a movie. And at those times is when it was failing. Action, cool. Gunshots, fighting, cool. John Wick, cool. But then when it stepped outside of that, it was like, hey, yo, can we go back to the John Wick stuff? Like, that's what I felt as I was watching this movie. And I was like, Guy, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, guy? What are you doing? I'm not enjoying any of this. Other than nostalgia, other than knowing that I should be enjoying this, other than any of the things that are like the predisposition that one should have, nah, I was not enjoying my experience. It was bad. Was the trailer song in the movie? So I gotta go back and listen to this, and when I edit it, I'll figure it out. But this would have to be the first time, not saying that this is the first time that I've noticed. I've never seen a trailer and then seen the movie, and then the song that was in the trailer was also in the movie. I'm fairly certain that's what happened here. A song that was playing in the trailer, it was a decent trailer, the trailer was fine. And I'm watching the movie, and that same song plays, and I'm like, is this a trailer song? And that little moment pulled me out. Granted, the scene was dope. The scene that I'm talking about was dope. But the fact that the trailer song was playing in the movie just confused the hell out of me. And this goes away from the movie, I don't even know who this I don't even know who is in charge of this decision that was made. Typically, trailers are there to bring audience members in, and then the movie is there to keep you there until, to be satisfied with your ticket sale. Never have I seen music from a trailer show up in a movie. It's a weird way to hold it. Never have I seen that. And as I'm watching this movie and that scene happens and that music started to play, my mind got detached from what I was watching because the question came up. That was weird. That was very weird. I don't know whose choice that was. I don't want to blame God for that, but I don't know whose choice that was. That was a strange choice to make. And I don't know if it did the thing it was supposed to do, because I definitely got pulled out of the moment. Just to ask the question, I guess wrapping up, because I don't want to make this too long. Because you're either going to watch the movie or not. If you're a Guy Ritchie fan, I say go watch it. I was going to watch it already. I am a Guy Ritchie fan, and I want to see his work. I wish that this work would have been a little bit better in comparison to his other movies, but ultimately I'm going to support him. This movie, actually, this can be a spoiler-free movie. I don't think I spoiled the movie. Did I? Maybe. I have to check. Anyway, the music was fine, but it wasn't spectacular. The shots were fine. They weren't spectacular. The acting and the dialogue was acceptable. This was an acceptable movie. I hate to describe it this way, but it was a movie and it was acceptable, but that's all it was. It was not spectacular. It was not outrageous. It was not anything beyond, what we would expect from a movie. And definitely not what I would expect from Guy Ritchie. This movie, oof. I'm interested to see the reviews of the, well, look at me. I'm a reviewer now. Yeah, no, I'm interested to see the numbers of this movie. Granted, COVID and stuff would, mess up the numbers a little bit, but I didn't enjoy myself too much. If I didn't have a great day, my day would have been bad because of this movie. Damn it, I feel bad about saying that too. Whatever. Yeah, no. I had a great day because of other things. The bar that I went to was great. I had some oysters. Those were great. Yeah, no, this movie did not enhance my day. I'm sorry, Guy. Please don't hate me. I beg of you to not hate me. And I say that right before I give the rating of this movie. So if I was to give this movie any kind of number attribution, I would have to say 5 shots out of 10. This movie was a 5 shots out of 10 movie. And all those good 5 shots were like basic. It was shot well. It had decent actors in it. Not saying that the actors acted greatly, but they were decent actors. The story wasn't horrible, so I can't fail you for it, but it wasn't great either. It was an average movie. Will I remember this movie 2 days from now? Probably not. Will I remember that Guy Ritchie made this movie? Yes, I will, but will I remember the movie? No. This movie didn't change anything. It didn't alter anything. This was an average movie. And when I think of average, I think of middle of the road, so 5 shots out of 10. That's what I think of this movie. Sorry guys that my first out of the house review was as it was. I hope you guys enjoyed the different experience. I hope that my B-roll was good. I don't know, because I'm in the past talking about the future, whatever, or the present. I've been drinking. Anyway, hope you guys are having fun. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hope you guys enjoying watching the movie. If you have watched it, and if you haven't, watch it or don't watch it. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future. I got 1, 2, 3. So I've got them that I got to continue watching. And I have about 3 shows that I want to start watching. So I have a lot more content coming up for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Yeah. I'm gone.